Welcome back to What's Now, our episode continuing to focus on your health and also continuing on the topic of overactive bladder. What if you're traveling? Why is there a stigma with this condition? Well, I had another discussion about this recently. Let's take a look.
Holiday season is right around the corner, and while it's an exciting time for many of us, for people living with overactive bladder, it can cause quite a lot of stress and anxiety about visiting family or friends, traveling, and even avoiding certain holiday meals that can irritate the bladder. If you're living with overactive bladder and this sounds familiar to you, short of canceling your plans this holiday season, what can you do? Here with tips to help manage this common condition is nurse practitioner specializing in urology, Diane Newman. Thanks so much for being here, Diane. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, Christine.
Holidays can be very difficult for people with overactive bladder. What have you found to be some of the most common complaints?
Well, patients tell me all the time that their overactive bladder symptoms include urgency, which is a sudden, intense desire to go to the bathroom, and they can't control it. They'll have frequent urination, which means they go to the bathroom more than 8 times during the day. And they may also experience urine leakage or urinary incontinence, which usually occurs after urgency. And I really thank you for having me because this condition, overactive bladder or OAB, is more common than you think. It occurs in 1 out of 10 Americans. More than 30 million people have this problem. And the issue with it is it's hidden. People are embarrassed. They don't talk about it. They will not seek help. And a lot of them think it's a normal part of aging.
And what causes OAB?
Well, overactive bladder is caused when the bladder muscle contracts involuntarily. It can be at any volume in the bladder, and that can lead to urgency, frequency, and incontinence.
And what are some techniques to help manage symptoms?
Well, there's some simple techniques. Look at your diet. We have identified certain things that are in diet, certain ingredients such as caffeine that we find in foods and liquids that can irritate the bladder. So I tell people to, see how much and what they're drinking and maybe cut back. Like if they're doing 3 cups of coffee or tea in the morning, cut back to maybe 1 and see if you improve your overactive bladder symptoms. The quantity of what you drink is also important. What we find is that drinking too little or too much can impact the bladder. If you drink too little, that's not really good for you because you can dehydrate yourself, you concentrate your bladder, and concentrated urine can really cause irritability, overactive bladder symptoms. Drinking too much makes you go to the bathroom so often. So what you really want to do is drink in moderation. And there's other things. So I suggest you talk to your healthcare provider, your doctor, because there's bladder training, ways to suppress urgency, techniques you can learn, as well as pelvic floor muscle training.
If you're having some of the symptoms that you mentioned, how do you know when you need to see a doctor or if it's just something that you just need to deal with?
Well, you can try some of the simple things I say, but like looking at your diet, I tell people to do really a diary where they mark down how often they're going to the bathroom, whether they have urgency, whether they leak, and then what they're drinking. And sometimes a simple diary can really help you identify and change certain things within, your lifestyle, we call it, that may help you. But, you can talk to the doctor because there's other approaches. There's other medications available. One of them that I'm here to talk about today, because I'm partnering with Urovant Sciences, has Gemtesa, which is a prescription medication, Viagra. It's 75 milligrams. You take it once a day. It can be taken with water, with or without food, and you can also crush it in applesauce. There's no significant impact on blood pressure, and it has been proven to help overactive bladder symptoms. Now, like all medications, it does have side effects, including headache, common cold symptoms, diarrhea, nausea, upper respiratory urinary tract infection. So you see there's some options for you, and that's why I recommend you talk to a healthcare provider or your physician.
What is a major takeaway that you'd like us to remember?
Well, don't suffer in silence. The research in this field has shown that less than half of people seek help. They live with it for years, and that's not something you should be doing. So what you really want to do is seek out information. Talk to like I said, your healthcare provider, or go to gemtesa.com as there's information on the medication, as well as more information on overactive bladder. During this holiday season, you want to be active. You want to visit family and friends. You want to go to events that you enjoy. Do not let your bladder control you. You need to get control of that bladder. And there's some really good things that you can try.
Well, thank you so much, Diane, for joining us. I really appreciate this important discussion about OAB and what individuals can do about it so they can enjoy the holiday season. I appreciate your time today.
Thank you so much for having me.